Well, hello, my friends. It is May 1st, believe it or not, and I am so behind in my garden planting outside because it's been nothing but a rainy, mucky mess, and I still haven't even planted my potatoes yet. Shame, 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 shame. I guess I can plant them all summer long. It doesn't really matter when I plant them, but in the past, I have planted them quite a bit earlier than the 1st of May, and they're not going in today either because it's pouring down rain. We're still not getting above 40s at night. We're getting down into the 30s at night. So we're definitely off to a slow start here on Vancouver Island this year. And by the way, welcome to my world. I'm so happy that you've decided to stop in and pay a visit. Today, I'm actually going to try to start a collaboration, and I hope that it will take off and go worldwide, and I hope that gardeners everywhere will participate. If you watch my channel, you know that this is my third year of gardening and that I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do, and one of the things that keeps me going in the garden is growing new things. Not only new strains of things that I grow, but also just new things entirely. Um, I'm really super picky when it comes to eating vegetables. I'm not very good at it. Look at I'm all crooked and my hair's a mess. And oh well, anyway, it's Sunday. Anyway, like I was saying, one of the things that I really love to do in my garden is to experiment and grow new things. Sometimes foods that I've never even tasted before, like I grew kohlrabi for the first time last year, and that was delicious. I also grew tomatillas for the first time last year and made some fantastic salsa out of them. And of course, I have new things going in my garden again this year because I think that growing new things is fun and educational and exciting to see them grow and even better when you find something that you've never heard of before that just tastes fantastic. So, my challenge to all of the gardeners out there is this. What is new in your garden this year? That's it. And I'm going to hashtag it like that. What's new in your garden? And I hope that you will also hashtag it like that. I am going to call out a few channels towards the end after I talk about what's new in my garden this year a little bit. And I hope that they will all participate. But even if I don't call you out, if you are a gardener and you see this, tell me what is new in your garden. Even if you're not a content creator on YouTube, tell me what is new in your garden. What's growing in your garden. So I do have some new strains, of course. I finally found some Brandywine heirloom tomatoes. And it's a little late actually for me to grow these this year, but they'll be going in for next year. So there's something new for next year. But let's talk about what I have going on new this year. One of the things that you saw was that I planted asparagus. And I actually had some crowns. I got some seeds too, and I'll get them started here eventually. But I was much more excited for the crowns because that means I should be able to harvest maybe next year instead of having to wait 3 years like I will have to do with these seeds. But I'm really excited to put asparagus into my garden because it can last for 20 plus years and I only have to plant it once. And so, how is that for saving you work? Fantastic. Something else that I'm growing that's new this year is corn. I've never grown corn before. And I've got a couple of different sweet corns, and I also have an Indian corn, which I guess is really good for popcorn. So I don't know that I'm going to grow all of them this year because I do have really limited space, and I know that you have to plant, a bunch for them to cross pollinate together. And I also know that you don't want to plant your flower corn, which is kind of what the Indian corn is, with your sweet corn because if they cross pollinate, the kernels can take on the properties of the other plant. And when you're making corn for popcorn, you don't want it to have sweet corn kernels in it, and vice versa. When you're growing sweet corn, you don't want it to have the hard, really starchy kernels from the Indian corn. Anyway, things that you learn when you grow new things. I'm just learning this, and I if you've been watching, you've seen the corn that I planted back in, I don't know if it was January or February, but it's like 4 feet tall now, and I still can't put it outside. So definitely a learning experience with growing corn. I'm going to wait and put it out when they say I should put it out. I'll plant a bunch more, and we'll see if the plants that I have, it's too cold to put them outside yet. I do have them out in the it's not really a growing room, but out on the deck that's enclosed, acclimating them. But it's still, we're not getting nice enough weather here to even think about putting them outside yet. But besides, that's it. Corn. I'm growing corn this year. I know it's not new for a lot of people, but I've never grown it before. And I know some people say it's a waste of space because you only get a little bit of corn off of it. But, if I get a couple of meals off of it, it'll be fun. I want to see how it grows and see what it does. And the popcorn, my gosh, we eat popcorn all the time here. So that might be something that we actually really want to grow. So anyway, corn. New thing number 3, 2, 3. Asparagus, corn. Okay, number 3 will be loofah. I've never grown loofah before, but I watched Michelle over at Michelle and Rob's Real Life Adventures with Rob and Michelle. I'll have to get the name and put it in here because I don't remember. Michelle and Rob. Anyway, Michelle grew loofah, and she says it's super easy, and I can't wait to make soap and put it into my own loofah sponges, and then I'll have to meet people so that I can give them away as gifts or something, because I don't know anybody. So anyway, loofah, thing number 3. Thing number 4. Now this isn't going to show up other than as a funky looking. Oh, here, let's. A funky looking see-through thing because it's green and it's a green screen. But these are my huckleberries, and they are looking fantastic. And so I am going to grow huckleberries this year. I don't think. I mean, if they're like most perennial fruits, they won't produce the first year. But I'll get them growing. I'll get them outside. And again, perennial. Grow things that will last in your garden that you have to plant once and then just care for and harvest. And that's what I'm looking for in my garden. And last but certainly not least of what's new in my garden this year is tea. I'm going to grow tea. Now this is Camellia sinensis, I believe is the name of the plant. And it is what all tea comes from. Now, the difference from your green teas to your white teas to your black teas to your oolongs is in the way that the tea leaves are actually prepared after they're picked from this plant. But this is the tea plant, and so I've got a bunch of these seeds. This is another perennial that's going to go out into my garden, and I may not get tea leaves from it this year. Although I might towards the end of the year. I don't know. It's probably a little late getting it planted now, but I'm going to get some of these seeds soaking in some water and get them planted ASAP, and hopefully I can get them outside before the end of the summer. So that's it. Those are my new things in the garden this year, and I want you to tell me what you're growing new in the garden. And some of the channels that I'm going to tag all of the best gardeners that I know. And all of the gardeners I know who are super experienced with gardening, because I want to know what you're growing that's new in your garden. If you've had more than 3 years of experience in the garden. I mean, for me, pretty much it's easy to find something new to grow because it is only my 3rd year of gardening. But if you've been gardening for your whole life or you've been gardening for a long time, what are you growing that's new in the garden? Let me know. Some of the channels I'm going to call out. I'm going to call out Bunkie, of course. I want to know if Bunkie is planting anything new this year. I know she's as behind as I am in getting the garden planted, but you're not alone, Bunkie. I'm in the same boat. I am also behind, and the weather is not cooperating. Bunkie, I'm definitely calling you out. I'm also going to call out Angie and Boo over at Abundant Acres. Now, I know I talked to Boo a little bit about what's new in her garden, and she is growing a new variety of tomatoes. But I'd also like to know what you guys are growing that's new to you. Like, what are you growing? Anything that's the first time you're growing it? Inquiring minds want to know. Adrienne over at Indiana Backyard Garden. You are one of the best gardeners that I know. I know you've been gardening for a long, long time, and I would like to know if you are growing anything new in your garden. And let's see who else. Liz. Liz Zorab over at Blyther Farms. Are you growing anything new in your garden this year? Let me know what it is. Also, um, Jessica Sowers and Ben over there at Roots and Refuge. Ben, are you growing anything new in the garden this year? And have you ever met Bunkie? Ben, you should meet Bunkie. Bunkie's garden. Her link's going to be down there. You guys would have so much to talk about when it comes to gardening. Oh my goodness. Who else? Somebody who's a new gardener, and so I think it'll be easy for her to tell me what's new in her garden, is Lee over there at Lazarick Farms. So I hope that she will also participate. And then there's a couple of other gardeners that I've just recently discovered, um, and so recently that I don't remember the names of their channels. And so I will have to hunt them down and challenge them. But really, any gardening channel. Gail, I know that you have a garden. Are you growing anything new? Anybody I know who is a gardener, I would love to hear what's new in your garden and what's keeping you excited about growing this year. So that's going to be my video for today. I thank you so much for coming and popping out and hanging out with me and bearing with my rambling. And if you've come back for a second visit, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really do appreciate every minute of your time, and I hope that you will take great care of yourself. Bye now.